Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing Good Boys, and this was directed by Gene Stubinski and stars Jacob Tremblay, Keith L. Williams and Brady Noon. The film really focuses on three sixth grade boys who ditch school and embark on an epic journey while carrying accidentally stolen drugs, being hunted by teenage girls and trying to make their way home in time for a long-awaited party. It really looks at these three friends, Max, Lucas and Thor, who've been friends since kindergarten, and they've really sort of bonded really well and have become really strong friends, and they believe they'll be strong friends forever. And it really looks at this one particular day where things don't quite transpire the way they expect, and they ultimately will have different goals, and by the end, towards the end of the film, they sort of break off in their own sort of directions, and it's kind of interesting to see that. And it's a very fun and entertaining movie in many ways. Look, I liked this. I thought it was solid. It was above average comedy. It was very humorous in parts. Unfortunately, there were a lot of jokes in the trailer that were ultimately rehashed again in the movie, but there were some other moments that were quite humorous and other scenes that were very funny as well, besides the ones we saw in the trailer. I think all the acting's solid, all the young kids do a solid job. I think Jacob Tremblay stands out a lot and is really solid in this, has some really great moments, and he's really the driving force for the story in a lot of ways, because he's the one who wants to go to the party and he wants to get his friends to go, and he goes on this journey to get there, and it's about what happens along the way and the choices he makes as a young person, I guess, and I really like that. Keith L. Williams is an actor I really know a lot about. He's a young actor. He does a really solid job in here playing Lucas. He's very funny, has some really great moments, some really great one-liners, and he made me laugh quite a bit throughout the film. And I thought he had a really great comic presence in the film, as well as kind of a little bit of dramatic element to it as well. I think Brady Noon, which I haven't seen a lot of, seen a bit of him, who plays Thor, he's kind of funny and has some really great moments in it as well. And I like the scenes involving where he keeps showing his friends the toys that his parents have, all these weapons, and it's really funny moments. And you get to see that a lot in the trailer, I guess, but there's a lot more moments in regards to these things that I thought was really funny. What I liked most about this film is it took a genre, coming of age, teen comedy thing, which is usually, set in high school and has a lot of teenage characters, 16 years old and up. Where this sort of did something different. It took sixth grader kids, much younger kids, and put them in the same environment. And I thought that lended to quite a lot of really great humorous moments. Things they didn't understand or things they were told that weren't true. And just the way they navigate through the world, and they're kind of naive, but it really feels like they're younger kids trying to be older kids. And I like that. And a lot of humor came from those experiences that these kids had. So in that regard, it sort of makes it a bit more refreshing film in that sort of teen comedy market. They marketed this film as a kind of a raunchy film with little kids saying, inappropriate things. And don't get me wrong, this film does have that. I just didn't think it went as far as it could have, or felt like it was going to with the trailer, but it still was very effective. Overall, it's just a fun and entertaining comedy, and it really looks at coming of age story, how these young 11-year-olds are navigating through sixth grade and trying to find their place in the world, and feeling that they'll always be friends, and slowly realizing that may not be the case, and realizing they all have different interests and different focuses in their young lives, and they want to pursue those. They can't do it all together, and they've got to realize, and they realize that throughout the film, that they've got to take their own direction and where they're headed. Final thoughts. Look, I think this film really looks at what it's like to be a teen and young kid trying to navigate through being a tween, as they call it in these films, or a teenager, and trying to find your place in the world. It's really about friendship and how sometimes the friends we start out with aren't the friends we keep throughout our lives. And this sort of film really encapsulates how a group of friends start to find their own way and start to see what they want and what's important to them and start to pursue that. And I think in many ways that's fantastic. I feel this film has a lot of heart and is kind of, even though the humour's a bit over the top sometimes and a bit silly, it sort of is very realistic, I guess, in a way, of kids trying to find their place in the world and trying to make sense of things that they're told and the adult world and what that actually entails. And I think this film's really clever in that regard. I'm going to give Good Boys 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was solid. It was better than average comedy. It was humorous, and it had a lot of heart, and I enjoyed my experiences with it. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.